First at 5 o'clock, we begin with breaking news. You're looking live as LMPD detectives are still on the scene investigating right now a shooting that has happened in the Jacobs neighborhood involving two people. This is in South Louisville, right near the Waterson Expressway. Police say at 3:40 this afternoon on Craig Avenue, they found a 17-year-old girl with a graze wound from a gunshot. As they were helping her, police were alerted to another gunshot victim, a male with a gunshot injury to his leg. Both injuries considered to be non-life threatening. Now, detectives believe that the shooting may have happened on Callard Avenue. That's 2 minutes away around the corner. So far, police say they have no motive and no suspect in this still developing story. We're keeping an eye on for you.
Well, now to our other top story. It's Thanksgiving week and thousands of Louisvillians are flying out of town. The airport is busy at this hour. Hello, everybody. I'm Connie Leonard.
And I'm Doug Proffitt. This Thanksgiving locally is expected to be match about last year's big record at the airport. And WHAS11's Alex Dieterer and photojournalist Jessica Farley are live right there at the moment. And Alex, you've been watching those important computer screens at the airport. Is today's weather impacting travel?
Right, Doug, Connie. So surprisingly, given the busy week for holiday travelers, I saw a handful of flights that are actually getting to SDF early today. That includes a Detroit flight, which is here set to land in about 10 minutes. It's actually arriving 20 minutes early. The only really delay that I saw is a flight from Dallas that was delayed about less than 2 hours. But today, right now here at Baggage Claim, isn't terribly busy. But the busiest days for travelers here at the Louisville International Airport are expected to be Wednesday and Sunday.
Arriving from Charlotte is now available at Baggage Claim A. Thank you.
We've been up since 3, but it's okay. It was smooth.
Louisville natives Sam and Storm Berman arrived back home from an anniversary trip to Florida ahead of the Thanksgiving holiday rush.
Honestly, it was a lot easier than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
Like, TSA was quick, and getting the flights was kind of a problem. So our first flights got canceled, actually. We had to rebook, but besides that, it was good.
The Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport expects 36,000 people flying out for the holidays between Wednesday and Sunday.
This is very close to what we saw last year in 2024, which was a record-setting year for us.
Natalie Shadowan says the busiest day for flights out of the airport is Wednesday. 8,000 people are expected to be on flights out of the Derby City.
Pack a little bit of extra patience.
SDF was included in the FAA's list of airports to reduce flights earlier this month during the government shutdown.
Our TSA staffing, as well as our controller staffing, remained very stable. There were no intermittent closures, no major disruptions.
Shadowan says holiday staffing issues shouldn't be a problem.
We are not seeing any lingering impacts from the shutdown. We expect TSA to be fully staffed. We have routine conversations with them regularly every week to make sure staffing levels are appropriate.
Linda Lambert with AAA says the lingering fear of uncertainty among flyers may impact modes of travel this year.
That's why we think some people may opt to drive instead of fly, and the numbers may fluctuate.
AAA expects 73 million people will drive to their holiday plans this year. That's up 1.3 million from last year.
It's going to be very, very busy whether you're flying or driving.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the SDF.
For the Bermans,
Yeah, I imagine it's going to get worse, but I'm happy it wasn't this time.
an uneventful flight home is letting them breathe a sigh of relief and fly right into the holidays.
Hope you have a happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So if you are one of the 70+ million travelers who are taking the road to your holiday destinations, the busiest times on the roads are going to be 11 in the morning to 7 p.m. So AAA is recommending getting out on the road either early in the morning or later at night. And if you're here at SDF traveling by air, the busiest time here at the airport is going to be before 8:30 in the morning. And Natalie did recommend getting here about 2 hours at least before your flight. Live at the airport, Alex Dieterer, WHAS 11 on your side.
All right, Alex, thank you. Well, they have the right spirit there. Happy Thanksgiving. They're telling each other, love that. And if you're headed to any airport this holiday season, here's some of the holiday food items the TSA says that you cannot travel with on your carry-on through the checkpoints. That's a key distinction in this. Keep your cranberry sauce and your preserves, the jams and jellies at home. Don't carry them on. Gravy and maple syrup, also a no. A same with canned fruits or vegetables. Now, if you have to travel with any of these, remember they need to go inside your checked luggage. Connie, don't travel with the stuffing.
Thanks for that. Well, the temperatures are dropping and city leaders are moving fast to prepare for any and all extreme winter weather events.
That's right. The snow team unveiled today as Louisville Mayor Craig Greenberg says Louisville Metro government is hoping to avoid the shortcomings we saw with last year's response to the historic winter weather outbreak. Part of this year's preparations include an updated online map which highlights the city's designated snowplow routes. Snow team crews are set to service over 2,700 miles of roadway, which is divided into 111 routes. Louisville Department of Transportation Director Bill Bell says that some streets marked on the map will take priority over others in the event of a storm.
Not all streets are treated equally during a storm, though. Our snow routes are focused on roads which carry the most traffic and those critical to connecting people to large employment areas, neighborhoods, schools, medical facilities, and hospitals.
The city has 100 different vehicles that can clear snow, and you can find the planned snow plow routes for the winter season by going to the Louisville Metro government website and search for snow removal. What scenes? That was back earlier in January, just this year alone.
Yeah, and we're going to have some colder weather coming up pretty soon.
Yes.
That's right, and it's so amazing because it's really going to be cold just a few hours before that tip-off of UK-U of L in Louisville. That football game played in Louisville this year.
Oh yeah, temperatures will likely be in the 30s for that, warming into maybe the 40s throughout the game. But today is actually our warmest day through that 7-day forecast. Taking a live look outside from our Bachman Auto Group Shriners Children's Camera Network, it's been a dreary day, but temperatures have warmed into the 50s to low to mid 60s. We have mid to upper 50s in southern Indiana, low to mid 60s in our Kentucky counties. And satellite and radar, steadiest rain has pushed off to our east, but we have just enough of this lingering drizzle to make things wet out there. And just know that obviously today, a big travel day, traffic really picking up across our area. There are a ton of accidents across the Louisville Metro right now, so please just take it slow and be safe out there. A lot of construction and a lot of traffic. Satellite and radar for anybody traveling, more widespread rain in New York State and Pennsylvania. Few stronger storms earlier today down in the deep south, and snowy conditions in the Dakotas and also up in Minnesota with gusty winds. Here at home, much of the same as we carry on throughout this evening and tonight. Cloudy conditions, spotty rain, lingering drizzle as well. Tomorrow we'll hit our high at midnight, and then temperatures will drop throughout the day. Expect a blustery day on Wednesday with temperatures in the 40s, feeling like the 30s. We'll talk much more about our Thanksgiving Day forecast and just that full 7-day coming up here in a few minutes, guys.
Thanks so much, Mallory. More to our top stories at 5. Louisville's Emergency Management Director announcing today phase 1 of the cleanup from the UPS Flight 2976 crash has now wrapped up.
And that means a handful of businesses south of the debris field can reopen tomorrow. That puts cleanup in phase 2, focused on Great Lane, north of the bar, Stooges. Now, phase 3 goes toward the crash site at Grade A Recycling.
The city did not offer a timeline on when each phase would complete, saying airplane parts are still being collected from the site and sent to Washington for the NTSB's investigation.
And then the big landing gear and the fuselage of the airplane is still sitting where our offices are. And that becomes a very hollowed area, not only for Grade A, but for those families and quite frankly for the community.
Grade A Recycling owner Sean Garber there, who is also 3 American flags recovering from the crash and the fire. Like the recycling business building, he's still deciding what to do with each of the pieces of the flags. We'll have more from Sean Garber coming up from our Ian Hardwitt at 6. Download the free WHAS11 app, Plus app, or visit our website to stay up to date. Latest coverage of the UPS plane crash. We'll also give you updates on the free WHAS11 Plus app available on your smart TV.
All new here at 5 tonight. The LMPD officers involved in a deadly shooting this weekend have now been identified. Well, the two officers involved are Officer Patrick Norton and Officer Richard Waller. The shooting happened this past Saturday just before 10 p.m. on East Southland Boulevard in the Southside neighborhood. The two officers fired shots toward the suspect, who allegedly pulled a gun. The suspect died at the scene. Officer Patrick Norton has faced prior discipline, while Officer Richard Waller has not. According to official documents, Officer Norton was involved in an officer-involved shooting back in 2019. There was no disciplinary action taken, but he was found to be violating protocols for previous actions.
Moving to our north, just into the newsroom today, a man who ran an Indianapolis human trafficking ring is facing 3 life sentences in federal prison. 37-year-old Christopher McDonald was charged with 8 counts relating to what prosecutors call a violent operation. According to testimony, McDonald allegedly ran a trafficking ring from 2023 to 2024, recruiting and exploiting women by recruiting them over the internet. Authorities say his operation even crossed state lines. His sentencing took place on September 25th of this year, but was not made public because of the government shutdown. Now, new developments in the Indiana redistricting battle. The Indiana House in Indianapolis is set to meet on Monday, December 1st, to debate redrawing Indiana's congressional districts.
That announcement came just after 1 o'clock today, and House Speaker Todd Huston, a Republican, insists that he has the votes to support Indiana Governor Mike Braun's call for redistricting. But on the Senate side, President Pro Tem Roderick Bray says the votes are not there. If the House passes the new maps, they will send it to the Senate for a vote. This comes after months of pressure from the Trump administration to redraw the lines in favor of Republicans.
In an effort to combat the national trend of rising electricity costs, Kentucky Attorney General Russell Coleman announcing today he's reached a proposed settlement with East Kentucky Power Cooperative, or better known as EKPC. Now, according to the settlement terms, residential customers will see an increase of less than $5 on their monthly bills. EKPC also agreed not to seek another rate increase for families for at least 3 years. The proceeds from the settlement will be used to fund a $2 billion investment plan that will build 2 new power stations in the region and will upgrade an existing coal plant to be co-fired with natural gas. The next phase of this settlement is approval from the Public Service Commission.
New tonight, Kentucky's governor is fighting to get federal funding back for affordable housing. Governor Andy Beshear joined a multi-state lawsuit today against the Trump administration. He claims drastic policy changes would gut more than $15 million in federal funding to Kentucky. The governor said that puts 700 households at risk of returning to homelessness. The Continuum of Care, or COC program, is the largest source of federal funding to battle homelessness. And the Trump administration is putting a 30% cap on funding.
Still to come at 5, a group of alleged porch pirates in New York have been stopped. The high-value items they were stealing right off the porches and how they were able to do it.
And Lights on Main returns today to the Fraser Museum. The final touches that were made on the holiday trees. It's all for a good cause.
And here's a check of today's Kentucky Lottery jackpots. Mega Millions, $70 million. Powerball, $681 million.
The Kentucky Lottery, funding education for over 1 million Kentucky students.